I'm starting to add scenery to my next module, and my first step is adding in the roads. In today's episode, we're going to take a look at one of CMR Products Systems' easy streets. Welcome to Humanity Junction, where the city intersects with humans. Today's video is sponsored by CMR Products and Iron Planet Hobbies, as well as my individual supporters. There will be more information later in the video. The first thing that I did was to download the Easy Streets templates. I downloaded the N-scale straight and curved PDF pages. Easy Streets come in HO, N, O, and Z scales. Here is some additional information about Easy Streets from the CMR Products website. To help with knowing what pieces to order to fit your needs, CMR Products has provided downloadable PDF templates for their streets. Simply print each of the templates at 100% and cut out the outline shape to know exactly what pieces of Easy Streets you need. I cut out and labeled all of the pieces from the templates. Here's some more information about Easy Streets from the CMR Products website. Using the latest cutting-edge technology available, their polystyrene roads are designed to replicate American roads with fine details. Many varieties are available, including various length passing and no passing zones, country roads, intersections, and more. CMR Products Easy Streets are made from polystyrene. Easy Streets are flexible so they can be applied to an uneven surface. This is my original design that I used to purchase the different pieces that I needed. Easy Streets also has various decals for road crossings such as railroad crossings and pedestrian crossings. The N-scale styrene roads are available in fresh asphalt, medium asphalt, aged asphalt, and aged concrete. Multiple different line patterns are available. Once I figured out which pieces I wanted, I then determined the configuration. I chose the medium asphalt finish with no passing and white lines for everything in front of the tracks, and behind the tracks I selected aged asphalt with no road markings. I molded some rocks using plaster of Paris. Unfortunately, I forgot to tint the plaster, so they ended up being white. When I made them, I was not sure if I was going to use them, but I liked the look they create on the front edge of the module. Once I received all of the items, I reevaluated my design. I did spend a while during the design process deciding the angle that I wanted the road to have in relationship to the track on the front of the module, as well as on the back of the module. The front of the module is going to be focused on car and train traffic, while the larger back section of the module will be dedicated to a circus and carnival scene. The roads in front of the track have been better maintained and represent a more well-traveled roadway. Behind the track, the road is going to just be bare asphalt. This road is barely used as it just provides access to the field in which the circus and carnival gets set up. I spent a lot of time trying to determine which way the road should curve as it went over the tracks. I preferred the road heading to the corner of the module, as this left me a lot of room on the right side for the circus and carnival. Before making a final decision on road location, I added some of the rock molds to see where they might fit. I did not want to make the roads perpendicular to the tracks, so I left them at a slight angle. Another aspect that I considered a lot was how the road was going to go up and over the track. I eventually decided that I wanted to ease the gradient by building up the height of the road. I decided to do this by using Sculpt mold. Yes, there are many different ways that I could have done this, but this is the one that I chose for this project. I taped down all of the road pieces to determine where I needed to add the Sculpt mold to raise up the roadway. Once taped down, I use a colored pencil to mark out the outside of the roads. When I built my 2019 Christmas layout, I had used a red Sharpie to lay out the roads. I learned that the red Sharpie will show through the ground cover when you spray the surface with alcohol, as it brings the Sharpie back to the surface. Having a set of colored pencils are a much better option for marking your bench work. Ron Marsh also mentioned this in one of his recent videos. The plan for this module is that it will be a circus and carnival scene. The roadway in front of the tracks will bring the visitors to and from the circus. The roadway over the tracks will lead to a hint of a parking lot on the left side of the module. The area behind and to the right of the road will be the field where the circus sets up their midway and performance areas. I'm having a lot of fun starting the scenery on this module. Taping down the roads gave me a really good look at what the final layout was going to be. I left enough room between the track and the roadway so that I can go back later and add telephone poles. I just won some trees from Bob at Long Shadow Model Trees. My current plan is to put them on the front left of this module between the road and the track, but I will make the final decision after they arrive. I switched from a blue pencil to this peach orange flash pencil because I thought it would show up better on the black paint. I went over all of the lines so that I made sure that I could see them. After the module was marked, I put all of the Easy Street road pieces in a safe place. Easy Streets can be applied using a spray adhesive such as Spray 77. I'm very likely going to use contact cement because I will be working in my apartment. Next, I mixed up a batch of Sculpt mold. I started with a small amount of water and added the dry mix until it reached the consistency that I wanted. I added a couple drops of brown paint, but it was not nearly enough to tint the Sculpt mold. I needed to use a lot more paint to tint the Sculpt mold. Over the next minute, I will talk about the two sponsors of my YouTube channel, CMR Products and Iron Planet Hobbies. CMR Products has designed and developed several in-house brands and are continually creating new items. Please check out their products at cmrproducts.com. The link will be in the description, and use the discount code HUMAN for 7% off their in-house brands. Iron Planet Hobbies is a model railroad shop that specializes in DCC, and they stock nearly 100% of T-Trak's, NCE, TCS, Soundtracks, Digikai's, ESU, and Nix trains. They also have select items from other brands. Please visit their website at ironplanethobbies.com. The link will be in the description, and use the discount code HUMAN at checkout to receive a 10% discount and free shipping in the USA. And now a huge thank you to all of my supporters on both Patreon and those that purchased items from my Teespring store. If you would like to find out more information about supporting this channel, all of the links are in the description below. I almost forgot to cover the tracks with painter's tape. This is not a step you want to skip. I originally only taped the area of the tracks where the road was going to cross, but I went back later and taped the remainder of the tracks. It is much easier to tape the tracks prior to getting plaster or Sculpt mold on them than it is to try and clean it off later. I started applying the Sculpt mold where the road meets the track. I laid down the material, planning to keep working it as it dried. At this point, I had seen Luke Towan do this many times in his videos, so I thought I knew what to do. I worked the Sculpt mold over and over to make it smooth enough to apply the Easy Streets on top. I used the Sculpt mold to attach the plaster rocks to the module. I could have applied the Easy Street roads directly to the module, but I wanted to raise them up a little bit as I thought it would give a more prototypical look. I wanted to add the rock molds to the viewer's side of the road so that you would be looking over or through them to see the rest of the scenery. When originally working with the Sculpt mold, I thought it had dried very quickly, but in going back and editing the video, I realized that I was working the material a lot longer than I had thought. I want to line up the height of the road with the height of the tracks so that there's a minimal angle as the road goes over the tracks. When I first started working the Sculpt mold, it was too wet, but then all of a sudden it went from too wet to not being workable. I started wetting my fingers and using them to continue working the raised road surface. I know this does not need to be perfect as I will be covering them with the Easy Streets product. My fingers were definitely the best tool for working the Sculpt mold. Eventually I decided I would let the surface keep drying and sand what I have currently applied. After this, I will determine if I need to add more material or if I will apply the Easy Streets directly over top. I still need to sand down the road to smooth it out and then see if there are any other areas that I need to fill in. I will also add some Sculpt mold in between the molded rocks to smooth out the transition between the different areas. I also need to work on the gradient of the road on the back side of the tracks. I'm waiting to see how everything goes with the front roadways before working on the back section. I am what I am because of who we all are. Thank you for watching. Please leave any comments or questions below, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Please subscribe and select the bell icon to receive notifications. Thanks again, and have a great day. When I first started When I first started working... When I first started working the Sculpt mold, it was... When I first started working the Sculpt mold, it was too wet.